In 1979, the world was in transition, gas prices were high, politics were messy, and technology was just beginning to reshape how America moved. But while the headlines talked about inflation, diplomacy, and disco, out in the real world, people still needed something they could count on. They needed something that didn't care about trends, that didn't flinch in the face of a hard day, and that could haul, pull, and push its way through anything thrown at it. That thing was the 1979 Ford F-150, the last model of the sixth generation. The final form before the 1980s brought sleeker edges, tighter emissions, and softer rides. But in 1979, things were still raw, still real. The 1979 F-150 wasn't fancy. It wasn't trying to impress anyone. It was built to work, built to last, and built to keep going, no matter how rough the road ahead looked. It came with a look that said, "Don't mess with me." Big square headlights, bold front grille, a body that was more steel than style, but still turned heads. Under the hood, you had choices. A 300 cubic inch inline six that ran forever. A 302 V8 that gave you reliable muscle. The 351 was a crowd favorite, balanced, torquey, and built to move weight. And then there were the big dogs, the 400, the 460, engines that didn't sip fuel, they chugged it, but they got the job done. You could get it with a manual, 3 or 4 speeds, or a C6 automatic that was as tough as the frame it was bolted to. Two-wheel drive came standard, but if you needed four-wheel drive, you got it. Manual locking hubs, floor-mounted shifter, no buttons, no electronics, just real engagement. The truck rode on Ford's twin I-beam suspension, unique to the brand and built for the rough stuff. Yeah, it wasn't the smoothest on the highway, but when you were off-road or hauling down a dirt trail with a load in the back, it flexed where others broke. It had a short bed, a long bed, style side or flare side, painted steel wheels or upgraded alloys. You could get it in a basic custom trim, vinyl seats, manual everything. Or you could go big with the Ranger, the XLT, or the Ranger Lariat. The Lariat, that was luxury for a working man. Carpet on the floor, padded dash, extra chrome, two-tone paint, and maybe, just maybe air conditioning. Inside it was all business, bench seat, big simple gauges, AM/FM radio if you were lucky, a glove box that rattled, and that signature Ford ignition click that every F-Series fan knows by heart. This was the kind of truck you drove to the job site, hauled your trailer with, and then took out to the bar on Friday night. Clean it out, hose off the mud, and it was good as new. Ford knew what they had. They'd been building trucks since the late 40s, but by the 70s, they had it down to a science. And in 1979, they perfected it. This wasn't just another year. This was the send-off, the last of a body style that had earned its stripes across farms, forests, oil fields, and main streets from coast to coast. After 79, everything changed. The next gen was lighter, rounder, quieter. Maybe better in some ways. But ask any Ford guy. The soul left after 79. The 1979 F-150 could haul 2,000 pounds in the bed and pull over 6,000 pounds from the hitch. It wasn't built for luxury, it was built for loyalty. And that's why today, decades later, these trucks are still around. Some are rusted and rough, some are frame-off restored, some are lowered on chrome, others are lifted to the sky with mud tires. But all of them have stories. Ask around. Someone learned to drive in one, somebody else took their first road trip in one, someone's granddad bought his new off the lot and never let it go. And if you ever find one sitting behind a barn, under a tree, with faded paint and flat tires, do yourself a favor, get it running, because that truck still has work left in it. The 1979 Ford F-150 wasn't just a truck. It was a chapter in the book of American grit, and for the people who drove them, and still drive them, it's more than just steel and rubber. It's a memory, a symbol, and a machine that never stopped doing what it was built to do. Work. The 1979 Ford F-150 last of the line. But the thing about the 79 F-150 is it stuck around longer than it was supposed to, longer than a lot of trucks that came after it. While newer models came and went, with digital dashboards, plush leather, and enough tech to fly a small plane, the old 79 just kept showing up. You'd see it in the background of a construction site, out at the deer lease, sitting proud in the driveway, right next to a newer Ford, as if to say, yeah, you're nice, but I'm proven. There's something honest about it. No sensors, no computers, no nonsense, just raw mechanical heart. And that's why gearheads love them.